Board Games follows the entrepreneur Marcus Dreer and his determination to accomplish his goals by any means necessary, even if it plummets him down a deadly hole of no return. For all of my book lovers out there, Board Games is a simmering drama that boils into a gripping conclusion, and you can find Board Games 1 and 2 now on Amazon. It'll be the perfect read this holiday season, and it's written by yours truly, so you won't be disappointed. Mogul Motivation, empowering and inspiring entrepreneurs and dream chasers worldwide, 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media, and I'm your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Let that cosmetic ambition go. Let me start this episode off by saying I hate LLC Twitter. Like real talk, I hate it. I despise LLC Twitter. I despise the generational wealth hashtags and the tweets about getting this property and making this amount of millions and all of these things. I can't stand LLC Twitter, bro, because it ain't authentic. It's not the truth. It's phony. It's fake. You know what I'm saying? It's just makeup. That's all it is. And this is coming from someone who has a podcast titled Mogul Motivation, right? This is coming from someone who coined and trademarked the phrase "mark 'em to millions." This is coming from someone who does want to be wealthy. This is coming from someone who does want to generate millions of dollars and have a successful business and all of that. And I encourage all of you to do that as well. But I hate LLC Twitter because LLC Twitter is really just all about talk. It's about making people feel good. It's about giving that illusion, that grandeur of being a celebrity, of being famous, of being someone that you're not. I don't resonate with that. Mogul Motivation doesn't resonate with that. The mission of this podcast, the mission of this brand doesn't resonate with that. It's about, yes, elevating. It's about success. It's about generating a profit. It's about having a successful business, but it's also about doing all of that with integrity. It's also about showing the ugly side of the things that people don't want to talk about depression, about anxiety, about having your feelings hurt, about having your ego bruised, about missing the mark. That's what Mogul Motivation is about. That's what Antoine Twiz Taylor is about. I don't care for LLC Twitter, because on some real talk, I said this last week and I'm going to talk about it next week. December 22nd, 2021 will be the 10th anniversary of me starting my business. I've been doing this way before LLC Twitter. I've been doing this way before people start to tweet and hashtag generational wealth. I've been talking about this, and I know other entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs, has been talking about this for years. LLC Twitter is just riding a wave. It's all about likes, reposts, retweets. That's all LLC Twitter is about. You see, we live in a world now in 2021, about to be 2022, or whatever the year is that you're listening to this right now. We live in a world where it's so easy to start a business. Yes, all you have to do is pay your $150 to the Secretary of State, and now you have an LLC on paper. In Illinois, it's $150. In your state, it might be more, it might be less. But yes, that's all you have to do to get an LLC. That's all you got to do. It's nothing rocket science to it, and we live in a world where you can Google it. It's not hard to get an LLC on paper. We live in a world where podcasts are popping up every single day. We live in a world where businesses, LLCs, S-Corps, sole proprietorships are popping up every single day. We live in a world where everybody has a business page on Instagram and Facebook. We live in a world where everybody is starting an organization. Everybody is starting a movement, and that's not a bad thing. Okay? It's not a bad thing. But the world is so oversaturated with all of these movements, with all of these businesses, with all of these organizations, with all of these podcasts. The world is so oversaturated every single day with something new. You can't decipher the real from the fake, because so many people have logo behavior. And what is logo behavior? Logo behavior is simply this. You pay, you get a logo, you get your LLC, you post it on social media, and that's it. Then you walk away, because you just want people to think or to see that you started something, but you don't really want to start it. You really don't want to execute it. You really don't want to grow it. You really don't want to nurture it. You just want people to think that. So therefore you have logo behavior. You get these fancy, elaborate logos, right? And then you slap them on your business page. Then you send out the invites. Then you send out the friend requests. And then that's it. You walk away. And it just sits there on Al Gore's internet collecting dust. Logo behavior is a result of LLC Twitter. It's a result of this social media wave that everybody has to be something. Everybody has to be an entrepreneur. Everybody has to do this. You want people to think and see that you're doing something even though you're really not doing nothing. At one point in my entrepreneurial journey, I suffered from logo behavior, but I'm cured from it because logo behavior gets you nowhere. It keeps you stuck in one spot for as long as you remain there, as long as you continue to deny that you are afraid and you don't want to really work. You really don't want to execute. Let me tell you something. Anything in this world that's of value, anything in this world that you really want is going to require hard work. It shouldn't be that way, but that's the way the world is set up. That's the way it is because you have so many people without integrity. You have so much racism. You have so many barriers. You have so many things in place that's going to stop you from getting to where you want to be. So because of that, the unfortunate truth is it's going to require work. And everybody knows that it's going to require work, but we don't really want to work. We want the people. We want LLC Twitter. We want social media. We want the world to think that we are working. We want the world to see that we are fake working. So therefore, we have logo behavior. We pay for our logos. We pay for our elaborate and fancy LLC names. We plaster it on Facebook. We plaster it on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of that, and we walk away and we don't do anything. We don't do anything about it. We just sit there. The business sits there. It collects dust. It don't generate not a penny. It just sits there and you are everywhere on LLC Twitter, hashtag generational wealth and all of this, saying all the good things. Logo behavior is a disease. And you need to cure yourself from that disease because you have to ask yourself, do you really want this? Do you really want to be where you want to be? Do you really want to be successful? Do you really want to accomplish your goals? And if the answer to those questions is yes, then you have to cure yourself from logo behavior and you got to roll your sleeves up and you got to get in the game and you got to get it going. Period. Having a logo, a fancy business name, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing special. Those pop up every single day. And if we gonna be real, some of these logos be ugly in the first place. Too complicated. Simple is best sometimes. Logo behavior gets you nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. That's my message this morning. Real talk. Get rid of logo behavior. Cure yourself from logo behavior. If you have a dream, you have a business idea, if you have an organizational idea, if you have a movement idea, continue to work it. Continue to mine your business. We talked about that on the previous episode. Continue to mine your business. Continue to extract every single idea out of that and continue to go to work and continue to build it. Do everything that you can, every practical and tangible thing that you can. I'm not going to list some things because it can be anything. Whatever your goals are, it can be a million things. But you have the resources at your disposal. You have the intellect. You have the ability and you have the energy to figure it out. Stop doubting yourself. Get rid of that logo behavior and start to execute, start to build, start to cultivate. That's what separates the real from the fake in this oversaturated world with podcasts, businesses, organizations, movements popping up every single day. What separates the real from the fake it's the ones that execute. It's the ones that have faith in what they're doing. It's the ones that because of their faith, they are disciplined in what they are doing. And because they are disciplined, it's the ones that are consistent in what they are doing. That's what separates you from everybody else. And it's not about everybody else. It ain't like you have to think and worry about everybody else. But I'm just saying that's what's going to get you through this crowded, chaotic, oversaturated world. And that's what's going to bring you success in your business, in your journey, and whatever your dreams are. Logo behavior gets you nowhere. Fancy LLC and S-Corp names get you nowhere. LLC Twitter gets you nowhere. Your LinkedIn profile pic gets you nowhere. What gets you somewhere is the actual sweat equity in your business, in your dreams. So that's my message this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. Cure yourself. Vaccinate yourself so you don't catch logo behavior anymore. So you can be a real entrepreneur. So you can be a real career woman, career man. So you can be a real dream chaser. So you can really accomplish your goals and not just have a logo on social media with 7 likes and 2 comments. So if this podcast has benefited you in any way, shape, or form, I ask for 2 things as always. Number 1, leave a 5-star review. And number 2, pass it on to someone who may benefit from it as well. Let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. And I'll talk to you next week.